Hello and welcome to Enchanted Rose Costumes. Today's video is all on how I made my own 18th century Bergère. If I've completely butchered how to pronounce that, please let me know in the comments. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy. Starting off, I used a dollar store straw hat for the base, and about 3 or 4 rows up began seam ripping the thread. Now when I bought my hat, I was on the lookout for hats that were sewn together with a cotton or polyester thread instead of the plastic fishing line stuff. This way if I have to apply heat to it later, I won't have to worry about the threads melting. Once I'd finished ripping the entire round, I then clipped and sewed the raw edge to the remainder of the crown. To finish the top of my hat, I measured the diameter of the opening and then cut away the excess straw of the remaining crown piece until the upper portion of the crown was the size I needed. To get rid of the domed look of my straw, I took it to the iron and steamed it until it was a flat round. To secure the upper crown to the sides while I sewed it, I pinned it in quarters and then whip stitched it in place with a small stitch. Next, I added two 24-inch ribbons on either side to help secure it to my head. Also, depending on the look desired, there's two different locations that the ribbon can be sewn to. The ribbon can be sewn to the interior of the crown, which is what I'm doing now, or it can be sewn to the exterior of the crown, which causes the brim to be pulled closer to the face when the wearer has tied it to their head. To trim my hat, I cut a 3.5-inch wide length of silk and then pinked the edges, and then marked 3-inch increments along the length of the silk. And here is how I create quick puff trim. I weave the needle in and out of the fabric and then pinch it together on the end of the needle before pulling the thread through. And then I sew a few whip stitches, wind the thread around, and sew a few more whip stitches to finish it off. Not only is it quick, I completely forgo tying the knots, which is very time-consuming. Once I've finished creating the trim, I evenly pin it around the crown, fluffing it as I go. Next, I attached the trim to the crown with a few quick stitches, and then added a pearl to the center of each pinch for a little extra bling. To finish off the interior of the hat, I cut a circle of cotton voile, pinned under the edges, and then whipped it in place. I didn't worry about it fitting perfectly, I just eased it into the crown. Next, I added my 3 Fs: florals, foliage, and feathers, or in this case, a feather. I hand sewed all these on with a button thread. I decided not to use hot glue because if I ever want to change this hat in the future, the hot glue would destroy the straw. Unfortunately, when I was filming this part, I didn't realize I was out of frame until I went back and watched it. So I'm sorry about that, everyone. To secure the rosebuds and the leaves in place, I tied my button thread around the stems before attaching it to the hat, just so I had a bit of an anchor. And I really just played around with the placement of everything until I was satisfied with how it looked. Well, I hope you liked today's video, and if you did, feel free to hit the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. Also, if you are new to my channel and you liked today's video, click the subscribe button. I post new videos once to twice a month, so you don't have to worry about me flooding your subscription box. I am so happy with how this hat turned out. Something I actually didn't mention earlier is I also steamed a bit of a curve into my hat, and to do that I just rolled up a towel and then placed my hat over the towel and just steamed it. And so it has a bit of a curve, so it's not completely flat like the straw hat was. But yeah, I'm so happy I also finally got to use this feather. It's been in my collection for a while, so it's definitely seen better days, but I'm very happy with how it all turned out. Anyways, I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!